we have a concept that is called wish salary. So I never have to negotiate for my salary. I feel like that's one of the biggest hoax and like myths about Germany.
And how do you guys make your money here? How do you get your contracts?
When we arrived here was very simple to me.
And can you also give some numbers, like how much you can charge for something?
Yeah.
Yes, of course. We are both freelancers.
Yeah.
I'm a painter. Mostly I paint murals or I paint in my studio in oil.
I'm a transdisciplinary creative person. So I work with creativity in each discipline to give me chance to work that. But I have like around 70 years working around the business of and the world of art. So I'm make curational, managing artists. I also produce art, painting, tape art, like everything that comes music with relative to creation and creativity.
And how do you guys make your money here? How do you get your contracts?
Well, at the beginning, for when we arrived here, was very simple to me. Knock all the doors. I know that if you knock at least 100 doors, one of them is gonna open.
Did you call? Did
I
you?
just go directly over there
Literally.
and knock the door, like, "Hey, I'm here." We were living in Kreuzberg, very close to Oranienstraße. I remember I go to every speti that I know it around there and say like, "Hey, can I paint your tables and your benches that you have cool benches and good tables? We can paint in a mural here." And we get our first job like that. I paint like from my speti, like the tables and the benches. From a pizzeria, we paint in a murals and the benches too, and we got money or food, and we start to knock, 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 and the people start to see your work, how you make things.
So in its broadest sense, I work as a creative. I actually studied forest and nature conservation, but I didn't want to work hard. So I thought, what can I do? And I am creative. So I moved here to work in the creative field. And last year I was a science fiction and fantasy world builder. So I was writing like concepts for like a book, like a new science fiction or fantasy world. But I was too put into a box with my ideas. So I switched to a new job, and now I am a concept creative and writer for social and ecological justice campaigns and projects. So, for example, this year we did the campaign for the family ministry for children and adolescents against, or like to protect them from sexual violence. I do have a contract, but it's definitely not a traditional company. I work in a cooperative. So some people in my work say it's like a couple of, well, 28, I think, freelancers working together and supporting each other with their skills. Yeah, we work as an agency, but the money that comes in gets equally distributed. We have a concept that is called wish salary. So I never have to negotiate for my salary. I don't like that, so I'm glad. But we kind of look, okay, what do we need? Do we have kids? What do you personally need to be happy in life? And then we kind of distribute the money accordingly. And of course, what comes in, what can we give you? So it's not like I'm gonna wish for 1 million. Yeah, nah, it's more like what I wish for and what is realistic.
Okay.
So yeah.
Is this something that only your company has, or is this a concept that exists in other companies as well?
I do know that other cooperatives also have alternative systems like that, but I don't know exactly what they look like. Yeah, maybe they're a bit easier because I know that this calculation is a bit complicated, but it definitely has its perks.
The important for us to be in Berlin was like we start to have successful here, and then the doors international was open to us. They said, like, you are successful, a little successful in Berlin. Okay, so you want to try to come to work here? So when the people know that we have some kind of success or we can leave it for our artworks or work here, they say like, you're good in Berlin, so come. That was one of the reasons that we come here at the beginning. For us, Berlin was the mecca of art in that moment, and we decided like, hey, yeah, why not? Let's try in the biggest place that is creating everything.
For example, in my case, I sell a lot of paintings online. So mostly, I have to say, they are in Germany. They are German customers, but not in Berlin. But yes, online you can be in a platform, and then a company from Paris calls you, and you go to Paris, or then you go to, I don't know, Copenhagen, or yes.
We travel a lot from here and working a lot from here.
In general, like we have a very nice atmosphere. We have like we try to help each other and we look out for each other that we don't overwork, but it still happens a lot. I think that's something I experienced a lot growing up. That people really live for their work quite often. Um, it has so much importance. Um, like even when I talk to my parents, like when I say, "Oh, maybe I want to do a sabbatical or something," it's like, "Oh my God, alarm clocks," like. But what if you don't have work? What are you gonna be in life? And a lot of people still career focused. So even though I work in a cooperative, I still feel some pressure, maybe self-induced. I don't know. Um, and overall, like my company really tries to take care of each other and check in and really tries to have this human touch. But sometimes I feel like it's so inefficient. I feel like that's one of the biggest hoax and like myths about Germany that it's so efficient. It's I don't know where that came from, honestly. Um,
Processes take a lot of time, for example.
yeah, like decisions always take ages, and yes, okay, it's consent oriented, but in general, I find that a lot of companies in Germany, there's a huge meeting culture. And for example, my brother and my dad, they work for an American company. I know they're much more work, like the actual work focused, and I think maybe also a little bit more faith in the individual workers and their capabilities. But what I do like about German work context that we have a really good social system. So when I think about working in the US or something, like you can get fired essentially any day. And here you have, like, if you don't do well for 2 weeks because something's not going well, like health wise or even mental health wise or whatever, um, you don't really have any risk, right? On the one hand, I think German work culture gets you to a burnout quickly. But on the other hand, there is a social healthcare system
They
that,
catch you also.
yeah, yeah.
And now at this point, do you still knock doors, or do you also get
Yes.
houses
Always.
still?
Yeah.
You cannot get like just fame and let's see what happens. No, 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 no. It's like you need to continue to do it over there because the followers don't pay the rent.
And can you also give some numbers, like how much you can charge for something?
It,
Yeah.
yes, of course, but it depends. You can charge for a mural, for example, like from 1,000 euros to 10,000 euros. Like, and there are companies that pay that. No, okay, one job you make, maybe you make one work for free, but they give you the food and the materials. But then the next job you are going to earn 8,000 euros. But of course, there is a point that you don't do nothing for free again.
Mm. Yeah, and also I think you learn with the ages and when you grow up that there is like years that go with like a lot of successful and there are gonna be years that you don't have nothing. So you learn how to save and have your savings, like, okay, I earned this time 8K, but from this 8K I'm gonna take three and just put it in the savings for the bad times.
And that's something you learn from Germans.
Yeah. Yeah, I learned from my mom, but yeah.
And for a job like this that you mentioned, how much time do you need to invest into that?
A mural that is free or very not very well paid, 1 2 days. Don't don't do more. And I remember the best payment I got for a mural. I did it in 3 days, but regularly a mural takes 5 6 days.
Yeah, but I think this is normal in the profession, like in something that is not well paid, you don't make like the best effort. You make like a good quality because it's your name, but you don't make like the best effort in that scenario. If they pay you very well, like a good sum of money, you put all your effort, like all the details, because you say like, hey, you are paid to me this kind of money, I will give you the proportional effort to this kind of money too.
How would you say someone would need in order as a single person to survive comfortably?
It did get pricier lately, and I think the rent prices diverged significantly. If you have one of the old contracts and you live cheaply, lucky you, you could probably live with like 1,200, like, or 1,000, I don't know.
Contract.
Yeah, with an old contract, let's say 400 or 500 euros. It's definitely not gonna get you your holidays or anything, but I think like if you come fresh out of university and you have a low salary or a cafe job for now or whatever, a couple days a week, I think you can easily come by because it's still much cheaper than other capitals food wise. And there are a lot of opportunities to get really cheap food here through like food sharing or whatever. I think I would like to not earn less than 1,500
Okay.
netto.
You need to have 1,500 in order to just get by easily.
Yeah, and not turn around every penny. Like you don't have to, like if you want to go to a restaurant or you want to go to a movie theater or to whatever, you don't have to think about every single cent.
Yeah.
But I think that's for me a good comfort level.
And now, when we talk about cost of living here in Berlin, how much would you say is that?
Yeah, for example, we have quite a big place and we pay 1,200 euros, everything included, plus the health insurance, that's a lot of money. Plus, we have some investments and the retirement, it's another 1,000 euros. And at least food in the supermarket is cheap. If just you go to a regular restaurant, it's not expensive neither. I don't know, around 4K a month for both of us.
For both of you together.
Yes.
But you also have an old contract for your flat,
Yeah,
so
that's true.
Yes.
We have
Yeah.
the lucky to have we have like almost 7 years living in this flat, and we have an old contract because the people have an old contract before. So we are the lucky ones, to be honest, because I know right now just for a room there is people to pay in 700 for a room sharing. Like it's insane in that scenario.